Greetings everyone and welcome to TerraTech Worlds, a new open world PvE survival game set on distant planets using the new Unreal Engine 5. Build, explore and craft solo or in online co-op and discover planets' different biomes and conquer territories, all with beautiful graphics and a highly customizable robot that you navigate. The game is developed by Payload Studios and this is a sponsored video showing you hands-on gameplay. If you want to try it out yourself, don't forget to check out the link in the video description because there's a demo you can play yourself from February 5th to 12th at the Steam Next Fest. We're going to start with a new planet. So right now there's 3 planets available. Calca 3 that we have, Old Alpha, and also Heroker 9. That is actually a tutorial planet, so you can play a tutorial if you like to. You don't have to. This would be the tutorial planet on a smaller island. You can basically fiddle around with everything. And then we have Old Alpha as well and Calca that we are playing on right now. These are neutral planets, offer different biomes. You have the jungle, for example. You have the desert. You also have the Arctic where you can play around. And we can also see here the different biomes and what they offer, what kind of materials they offer then as well. You can also set it to private or friends only or invite only, whatever you want to, and you can also see the difficulty of the game itself and what kind of temperatures you may expect on that. Without further ado, let's jump into a new game. Go, 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 go. Alrighty, and here we are now in the game itself on this beautiful sunny day on an alien planet. I have no idea where we are really. It's totally generated here, and in this case here, yeah, there's some materials around us, some really cool mushroom trees by the look of it, and our little robot here that has a basic miner on board, nothing else, right? And we need to survive, we need to build a base, we need to start production, and also, of course, improving my robot. There we are. That's our tech reactor right now with a total capacity of 200 that we are recharging per second right now. Our power sources we have, our temperature we have, and our total mass that we have. We got a bit of stuff in the inventory, like a tech yard, for example, and with that we need to get cracking basically. So let's just have a look. There's some bauxite over there, and we can just, yeah, with our sorry little mining laser, we can cut it down. The same goes with this very dangerous plant there. Don't get too close to that, for some carbon, right? So we want to start with a few oh, that's the one. So in this case here, this is a dangerous world, and you definitely should not get too close to these rather hostile mushrooms that we can see there. I think this is, yeah, there's a boulder here that would yield me some stone, but we really don't need that. There it is. That's actually something, hematite for iron. And I would also like to harvest some of these here. There's a cool tag in this game here too. So when you mine bigger rocks like this, you actually have these lines there and you can follow them to break the rocks apart, right? And this makes it easier then to harvest the entities that are coming out of this. I think this is a really cool tag and makes mining actually pretty fun to use because you get these lines then. That's a lot of iron ore there, perfect. And then we got those trees. Like this one here, there's also these cuts, and if I follow them along, they're basically breaking apart. There you go. And we get the carbon out of them. This is, am I too close to this? No, perfect. Because we want all of this. Now, there is some really good physics in this game, and I need to, as you can see, I need to hustle my way around this crater here now that I'm looking in. We can also jump, and whenever I'm stuck, I can actually just jump my way out of that. So I'm just going ahead now and mine a few more resources. And after having done that, getting a bit of carbon, a bit of iron in, we should find a location now for our first base. And you know what? This is such a beautiful location here. Look at that. By the water on the beach. Holy cow. Yes. Fantastic looking, really. And here, that's probably a good starting area. There is some huge pillars over there, a tower. We'll just see what there is, of course. There's also enemies out there, and I think here by the beach I'm feeling rather safe. Let's go ahead and drive a bit further up. Somewhere here, we could start with that. Yes, absolutely, fantastic. And with that, we are opening our building menu and build us a tech yard, right? So we can just drag it onto the map and have a tech yard somewhere here, and this is then our first module. We do need a ramp for this tech yard, so there you go. We can also simply attach a ramp like this then to this area here. There you go. And with that, we have the first structure. We can now drive up on the tech yard and claim this base for us. There it is. And with that, the base has been claimed and this belongs to us now. Now we can go ahead and produce us a few more blueprints that we can do. So we have 4 recipes here that we can do ourselves. And then we need to actually have a workbench, right? The workbench is then for everything else. I would like to, since we have a bit of iron, start with a few of these platforms here. So they're being in the queue then, and they're being then produced automatically while we can do other things. We will also need to build a carbon generator for electricity and a workbench for advanced recipes. And let's go ahead and harvest a bit more carbon while all of this is being constructed. Oh, what a beautiful day here. This is gloriously looking. I definitely want to live here if it weren't for the enemies. There's also some rare materials with these blue rocks that we can use them later as well. Alright, we have everything also constructed, so let's go ahead and go back to our base here. I do have a lot of these platforms now, and we can use them now to get cracking on a bigger base, right? So everything that is on these platforms then is also conducting electricity, which is important. Probably going to add it here, here, and here. Yeah, and then we have also another one here. And we can also go up, right? So we can have several levels, of course, that I could have. And we can also flip them around if I want to and add them here like a wall or something like that. So there's lots of creativity you can get out of these. Now let's get into the base again, right? And here we can now go ahead and start with my workbench. This is a pretty important one. Probably would like to look at it like that. We could also have it right here, so it's very close to where I enter the base, right? And here we have now then a lot of additional recipes now that I can use. Before we do this, however, I also need a carbon generator to produce electricity. Without that, most of the things do not work. And in this case, this is something that I should have a bit further away, perhaps somewhere here, so that it's not in the way super like that. There you go, right? And this is going to produce electricity, and since it's on the platform, it will then deliver the electricity everywhere where the platform is. So that's that, basically. And yeah, we can actually get this cracking now. That's the generator. I still need to add some carbon to that. We got 50 carbon. There it is, right? And with that, we can now restore the power. And now it's working. We have electricity. And with that, the workbench powered is now working for us, and we can finally start also producing something here. The game, yeah, kind of like guides us a bit here. So there is also an extensive tutorial that you can have a tutorial planet. But also in the normal game like this one here, there is a bit of a guidance in the beginning, right? So it's up to you what you want to do there. Alright, next up we should build a supply fabricator, because there we can build everything that supplies us like ammunition. And for that I can move the iron over and also the carbon, right? So this is the input, and now we can actually choose something here like the supply fabricator, and this is now being then produced at the workbench. And once it's finished, we can get it over into my inventory. Very good. And now we can actually get this out. I think this also, yep, needs electricity, 20. So we need to probably get it a bit online on the other side. There you go. And I might actually just move it around a bit. Perfect. And with that, here we can now go with the light ammunition. It needs actually something, so let's just have a look at that. Aluminum, this one, and carbon. So aluminum we already have as well, a bunch, I think. Yep, there it is, right? And some carbon. There you go. And with that we can now start light ammo. So once this is toggled on, it's going to endlessly produce this until it'll toggle it off again. And we want to craft 100 for now. It's actually rather expensive, right? So I can already see that we are going to need lots of aluminum. And there you go, right? And this we get over now as well. Another platform I still have, so I would probably like to add this then. And probably get me a few more platforms out, like 2, 3, and 4. Right, so with that we can get a whole new road then out there as well. Over there. Getting in that space and expanding the base. A very basic base that is. Craft a refinery at the workbench would be my next target. The refinery will then unlock me advanced materials that we can have, right? So we can then refine materials. However, I will need copper for this. And this is a moment that will happen quite often. We need to go out and explore the world to find, yeah, copper for now. Oh, this is looking very interesting over there. This landmark might be dangerous. If I want to go out there, we probably should do something else, and that is attach a weapon. We have a starter weapon here, the M18 Windur. This one we can attach then to my robot, as you can see, right? So we got the mining laser, and then I got the fighting laser now. So that's really cool, right? This is totally modular, and we can just go crazy here. I can get my wheel away, right? And then we don't have a rear wheel anymore. And we do also have the ammunition in the inventory already. And this adds now a fire group, as you can see. And with that we can now fire, right? With the amount of ammunition that I have. So we are a bit safer with that. I just realized that we have the wheel on the wrong setup. Look at that. This is crazy. Let's just get this right again. So I think I rolled it wrong. There you go. Better. Now we can drive again. Still doesn't look correct though. So there you go. Took me quite some time to flip it. Alright. Ooh, this is looking tight. I don't want to get into the water there, because I don't know if I can swim. Oh, there's also something over there. He will probably attack me outside. Yeah, look at that. This bugger. Look at that. We actually destroyed his cannon, right? And now he cannot fight anymore. He cannot shoot. He's still alive though. And we can just harvest him. There you go. Give me whatever you have. He actually then just leaves the modules and the raw materials, right? There it is. And then there's some modules there. Perfect. So that was a shifted wheel. We can then, with that, also, if I want to, make my vehicle longer, right? And bigger. And this is one of the big key features of this game. Alright, there's a bit more iron that I want. Of course, the main goal is to find us some copper. There is one of these cut lines now. There you go. And copper is usually greenish, so hopefully we find something along the way. And we're getting close to this area here now, to this structure. I'm a bit afraid of it, honestly. But there's copper. So cuprid. And, oh, there's a cut line. Very good. And it's rolling down to me. Thank you very much. Get a bit of copper. It's very steep here, so I don't think we can climb this. Over there it looks a bit safer. I guess it will roll down then here. And as you can see, we also need to recharge the laser there from time to time. Yeah, come in there. Perfect. And with that, we do have some 42 copper in the inventory too. We got lots of debris at this point. I can just drop them, of course, since they're clogging it up a bit. We might just... Okay, there it is again. Wrong side that I dropped it. And we might actually just at some point refine them into something else then. Holy cow, what a view. Behold. We can also see on my radar the blue point. That's my base, right? So I can always find back to my base. We also have a really cool holographic map where we can see where we are right now on this hill, and down there is my base, for example. And you can also see the curvature of the planet. It's a rather small planet that we're playing on. There's several planets you can play on. Looks like there's a thunderstorm over there. And also some blue mushrooms in the distance. We might find some different resources on them. But first, I would really like to get up there. This might prove tricky. Or not. Perfect. And that's a silo with some resources in. Copper, carbon, and iron refined. I'm not going to take the debris though. Very cool. It looks like an abandoned facility. And I think, just like that, we could harvest it as well, right? It would take some time though with my laser, as you can see. So this is something for later perhaps that we can then use as well. On the other side, there's no interesting structure for now. And I think it's time to head back then. Oh, another copper source. That's something. And look at those cloud systems. They're real, right? Beautiful. Another enemy down there. We're not going to take this on. I have way too many resources on me right now. If you die, you leave everything you have behind where you died, right? And you need to come back. And if there's a strong enemy, then he might just camp your resources, and we don't want that for now. Lots of copper. I'm going to harvest a bit more, and then we return back to the base. Right, there we are again on our beautiful beach resort. And do we still have electricity? Yes, electricity is still going. Look at that, we only consumed about 15. I could of course toggle it off when I go for exploration. I should have done this before, right? And then I can turn it on again. Let's recharge it a bit. We have lots of carbon. And then I can actually toggle it on again. And now let's go ahead and add the copper. Boy, we have lots of copper there really. And my iron to build me that refinery. Rather quick about that. There you go. And with that, we have a new structure that I would like to use then. Oops. And I'm probably going to have it on the other side of my base. Somewhere over there. I mean, it does look a bit similar to my workshop, and I don't want to have it close to that. And here, as you can see now, we can refine materials, and that's what we're going to need then for more advanced production. Craft the launchpad with this at the workbench. So let's have a look. The launchpad, there it is. I need iron refined, copper refined, and carbon refined. So basically everything that we have in raw, we do need to refine now a bit. And I can now go ahead and get me the copper. There you go. And have copper refined. It's actually quite a lot of resources that this requires. And we probably could also have several of these refineries to speed the whole process up if I need quite a lot of that. Anything else here that we need for now? The fabricator, copper refined. We're doing this right now. Look at the amount of stuff we can get out here. The Tetra platform, the Tetra plant. There's some silos here. So this is basically your chests. The tech yard for advanced production. And we have still 192 light ammo, right? So I might also go ahead and just get me a bit more ammo out there. Alright, after a bit of time we have all the refined materials, and we can now craft us a launch pad. And there it is. Get it on board, and let's get my refined materials back home, please. And with that, we can build somewhere here. It's a pretty big building, as you can see. The cool thing is, if you misplace it somewhere, you can always build it again, right? So we can even flip it around. There's lots of opportunity here. So there we have the launch pad now, and this is, I guess, where now missions come in or something like that. We can also just add now my debris, for example, as a payload, and we just wait now for something to happen here. By the way, if you like this game, don't forget to check it out on Steam. The demo is available in the Steam Next Fest, and you can also play this up to 6 people in co-op. Jolly good band of friends. Doing this alone, you don't have to. It's also important to note that we can actually go in and have a look at the objectives. So there are certain objectives you can do and you get a payout for these, right? So you get some credits that you can then use. Like for example, place a few more platforms, also build more fabricators, and that's really cool, deliver resources. So this is where we need this platform for. We can then harvest resources and can deliver them for some payout there as well. The same goes with combat. We can just destroy more tanks and get also a higher payout out of this. So this is also something that you can do in this game. You can build, you can survive, you can explore, you can follow along these objectives to your liking. Also, that is pretty cool. We have several weapons now, right? So we have the weapon, the laser beam, and also my vehicle itself, and we can then add them to these firing groups. So if I add the weapon now here to firing group 1, then we can actually fire and beam at the same time, right? But in this case here, of course, that's not ideal. So let's actually put this back to firing group 2. I don't know how many firing groups we can have, probably a bunch. And in this case here, that's that as well. Cap crafting then as well, that we've already had. So in this case here, lots of things to do. I hope you enjoyed this little preview of the game, of TerraTech Worlds, and it's a really good game. I like it. I like the graphics especially, but the gameplay is also really deep, and I can't wait to see what we can actually do and customize here our vehicle with. You can play this again in co-op if you like to. You can also try it out on Steam now, on the Steam Next Fest, the demo, and then decide for yourself. And hope you enjoyed this one. Check out the link in the video description. This is TerraTech Worlds. Onwards, stay tuned, cheers!